So how are these three guys? How's introducing a new adult parrot to another parrot going for me? Hey guys, sorry, I'm being really eloquent here. All right, so today I wanted to talk to you about something I've had a few questions on, and I apologize. My neighbors are being super loud, but on the right you see Carmen, and on the left, of course, Boatrix are golden conures or Queen of Bavarias. Very awesome species of parrot. In the middle is my orange-winged Amazon, Tikko. Now, Tikko loves conures. He loves golden conures. He adores Boatrix. He and Boatrix have been bonded. They've been living together. Boatrix is going on 2, and Tikko's been, yes, hi Tikko. He's been so good at putting up with Boatrix being a little young and wild, that kind of thing. Yeah, what are you saying, Tikko? Hi. You don't say. Hi, Tikko, Tikko. Tikko likes to talk and sing and that kind of thing. So what happened though is I had a viewer contact me. Okay. Pretty bird. What are you doing? Kiss, kiss, kiss. You don't say, Tikko. And tell me that Carmen had lost her mate some time ago, and he wanted me to take Carmen. So one challenge was that Carmen is really 20 years old. Now, teaching an old bird, just like an old dog, new tricks is not easy. It's really taken Carmen some time to adjust. As a matter of fact, one of the things that happened is when Carmen first came, I realized, hi Carmen. Let's see if she'll let me pet her. I realized, nope. She's like, no, not right now. I realized that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, guys. That something was wrong. And actually, I made a video about that. Something was wrong with Carmen. And it turned out that she had a significant yeast infection. So we took her to the vet, and that got all taken care of. And once that got taken care of, I put them in a cage side by side so that there was just one divider between these two guys and Carmen. That way they could kind of get to know each other, right, Tikko? Hang out, see each other, start to get comfortable, because a part of what we wanted to do was put the three of them together. So it took some time, and actually one of the other challenges is that because Carmen has been in the same home and with the same flock her whole life, coming here was a significant adjustment for her. And when I first brought her home, she was so sweet and so friendly, and you could see when I was trying to pick her up that she's kind of still processing everything. She's still trying to decide if things are okay or not. Now, I recently just started to put these three together, and I took the divider out, and I was really pleased at how well they are doing. So what I was looking for is how they would interact with each other, and they did really, really well. Boatrix started preening Carmen. He would sit by her and be sweet with her. It was really awesome. Parrots love their same species. Then Carmen, kind of adjusted and was okay with it. And then the next day, I saw Tikko preening Carmen. And those are just wonderful signs. So we have an unusual trio. And one reason this trio works is because golden conures are communal, and because Tikko loves golden conures. So I'm really grateful that everyone seems to be adjusting well. I'm watching to make sure that everyone's eating, that everyone's doing well, and so far they are great. I want to point out that When you add a new bird to a flock, it's a really hard thing. I've actually not seen a bird kind of have such a hard time adjusting like Carmen. And that's because, like I said, Carmen had been in the same flock her whole life, ever since she hatched. So when you get a bird and you want to add another bird later, you know, that's not undoable. But when they come in together, they still bond with you if you spend time with them, and they get to bond with each other. On the other hand, if you get one and you wait 10 years, it gets a lot harder. Adding birds, like putting babies together, is a piece of cake. You just put them together, generally speaking. Putting young birds together isn't too hard. Doing cage by cage, watching them, make sure that they're gonna bond, is great. I have a friend who he has a Catalina macaw, who's an adult, a rescue, and he just got, well, after that he got a blue and gold rescue, and then he got another green wing macaw rescue. And one of the things that's happened is the Catalina, who had already been with my friend for a couple of years, was kind of like, So he has had to add a new cage for the blue and gold, and he's hoping the blue and gold and the green wing will get along. Why? Why is it not working out for him? I was able to put these three together. Why couldn't my friend put his three together? Because for one thing, they were older, and they're all macaws, which is good, but they're not technically the same species, and that might be working against them. But more importantly, it's kind of like us. When you're young, making friends is easier. When you're older, you know, they say you're more picky, but you know yourself better. You know what you value, you know what you like, and you want friends who have that in common. And so in a way, you're less open. And then the same is just true with parrots, and certainly with my friends' macaws. So the first macaw's like, look, you're an intruder. You're gonna take away time from my human. I don't like you. And the new macaws, they're more likely to get along, but it just so happens that with macaws, they kind of either like each other or it is said they won't. So you kind of have to be careful and make sure that they're really going to get along. And it's just harder to do the older the bird gets. So I've had several people ask me questions about adding a bird. If your bird is younger, it's more likely to work out. If your bird's a little older, it's more challenging. You do need to put them side by side in 2 cages so that they each have their own space, nobody gets hurt, and they get to know each other, and then they can make the decision whether or not they want to get together, whether or not they're gonna really be friends. And you can tell simply by how close they are to each other, even though they're in their own cage. When they don't like each other, they'll get as far away from each other as they can, even though they're in their own cage. So it makes a really big difference, and giving them that time to acclimate makes a really big difference too. So there you have my wonderful story of Boatrix, Carmen, and Tikko. And you can really tell, you know, Boatrix is the youngest, and he is sort of the most energetic. He's the most likely to bond with the other two. You know, he's just more open. He wants to make that connection. And the other two, they're happy now, but you could see Carmen's a little unhappy. She's out back here. She's been out here several times, but it's still new to her. It wouldn't be new if she was a younger bird. She'd be like, oh, I know this. But because she's an older bird, and this is all still new to her, like she's just taking longer to adjust. Just like if we took a very young child to a foreign country, they would adjust very quickly. Whereas if you take a, you know, Carmen, she's 20. Golden conures can live 30, 40 years. So she's probably 2/3, maybe less, way through her life. And so if you took a human who was about 2/3 of the way through their life and put them in a new country, it would be a hard adjustment. So keep that in mind, because I think it'll help you understand how to be more patient with your parrot when you bring a new parrot in who is already an established adult. And frankly, guys, I kind of feel like when they're at a rescue, they kind of know that they don't have a flock. And then when they get a home, I feel like they understand that they're getting a new flock. Whereas I've noticed that sometimes when parrots come to me from a private person, when someone has asked me to take them and I've been able to, the parrots don't quite understand what's going on. They lost their previous flock. And even though I try to explain it to them and tell them, and I think initially that's why Carmen did so well, I think as they kind of realize what that means, they get a little unhappy. So I'm not saying you should take them to a rescue. I'm saying keep these things in mind and be nice and patient. See, do you see Boatrix? He's trying to, what are you doing? He was biting at Tikko's foot. He's more playful, he's more open, he's more willing. So, you know, just be patient so that if you have a bird like Carmen, you know that it'll take some time. It took Tikko at least a year or two to kind of relax, adjust. We got him from a rescue and just kind of decide that it's all good, that he could talk, that he could let us pick him up, those kinds of things. So there you have Carmen, Boatrix, and Tikko's adventure. Please be sure to give the 4 of us one of these. I forgot to tell you, I'm Kaylin, the author of The Parrot Bliss Bomb. Please be sure to check out my books, coloring books, kids books, and of course books about parrots on Amazon. If you have any questions or comments, place them below. If you are looking for a baby parrot, check out parrotbliss.com/available-parrots, and I will see you in the next blissful video.